Hello. Today's topic will be on the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. In April 1865, General Robert E. Lee of the Confederate Army is forced to surrender to U.S. Union General Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. This proves to be the official end of the Civil War, leaving the Confederate side angry and a little bit um, on the side of the Confederate cause will never truly die, even though the war is over, while the Union is launched into a euphoric celebration of the war's conclusion. Just days later, President Abraham Lincoln is shot and killed while watching a stage performance in Washington, D.C. at Ford's Theater. The perpetrator, John Wilkes Booth, a professional actor and ardent Confederate supporter. In the days that follow, the investigation reveals that it wasn't just Booth acting alone, it was several men led by Booth in order to try to kill not just Lincoln, but several other key members of the U.S. government in order to bring about a Confederate revival and really show that and cripple the U.S. federal government. Due to the nature of this event, several sources have been written of both scholarship and primary investigative material focusing on the presidential assassination of Abraham Lincoln. Some of the more interesting primary documents have to do with the eyewitness accounts of the events that unfolded at Ford's Theater. One of these is actually from Dr. Charles Leal, who happened to be in the audience during the stage production, who was one of the first people on scene in the presidential box where Mr. Lincoln was actually shot, and he stayed pretty much at Lincoln's side uh, up until his final breath, which came early the following morning. So his document is very, very heavy on the medical aspects of what was going on with Lincoln, what did they try to do, who was there, what did he do as a medical professional, that sort of nature for Dr. Leal's report. Very, very fascinating from a primary source point of view. Another primary source comes from one of the parishioners who was in the audience at Ford's Theater, who saw both the lead up, the days before the assassination, what the euphoric atmosphere was like in Washington, as well as what happened following the assassination in Washington, and the massive shift from euphoria to an incredible melancholy remembrance of what Abraham Lincoln meant to the United States government. Several secondary sources have also been written. One of them is from Thomas Turner, uh, in his article titled "Writing History in a Vacuum: The Lincoln Assassination." It's a historiographical look at what historians have written about the assassination and what they set out to prove, or more accurately, what they discovered in their investigations. Very interesting source from a secondary point of view, as it talks about several different historians' works throughout the decades. And the second one is from Fred George. In his article, Let the Stain of Innocent Blood Be Removed from the Land, the trial of the Lincoln assassination conspirators. As I mentioned previously, this was a large scale effort to kill several members of the U.S. federal government, not just Lincoln. They wanted to cripple the federal government. So this article talks about the federal government's investigation into these actions and the men and women responsible for the actions, leading because several key things happened. Mary Stuart became the first woman to be executed by the federal government, among other very interesting details of the trial. No doubt the assassination will be continued to be remembered and a very influential piece in regarding American history. Thank you.